All right, this is a continuation of our one-point perspective assignment. So what we've done so far is to draw a solid object in one-point perspective. So that's simple. It's pretty direct. But what about drawing the interior of a space? I'm going to show you one side of the room I'm in. I'll turn my iPad around here, and you're going to see, this is my little breakfast nook in my kitchen. All right, basically one side of the room. I want you to see that painting on the wall. And then what I'm going to do is draw that space in one-point perspective. All right, so that's what I want to show you, because that's your other part of this assignment. You can draw an object. What about drawing a space, an object that you're inside of? So what I'm going to do is I measured that wall, and it measures, let's say, 8 by 10 feet. So I'm going to draw a rectangle on my paper here that approximates the width and the height of this wall. Let's say that's 8 by 10 feet. Okay, that's the wall that I just showed you in my breakfast nook. Now what I'm going to do is put a vanishing point on it. Again, I can put the vanishing point anywhere, but remember your vanishing point is where your eye is, where you're standing and looking at the space. So right now I'm looking at it. I'm approximately in the middle here somewhere. My horizon line would be approximately here. Remember your horizon line is your eye level. I'm going to put a little point on it, okay? And that's my vanishing point because that's where I'm looking at that wall. Now what I want to do is going from that vanishing point to this corner. This is where the ceiling meets the wall on the left, and I'm going to draw a straight line out from that and here. And this line is a corner of the room where the wall on my left meets the ceiling. I'll do the same over here. And this is the opposite corner on the right side of the room in the ceiling. This is my ceiling. And then down, and then this is the corner of the room where the floor, this is our floor, meets the wall. Let's call this the, I don't know which wall we'll call it. Maybe it doesn't matter. It depends which way I'm facing, I guess, right? So this is our floor. This is the wall on the left wall, let's call it. This is our right wall, all right? So there's the interior of the space I'm in. Now, of course, that wall has a window, which is basically just a big rectangle like this, not a big deal. But now there's other things in the room. As I'm coming, my iPad is on top of a table. So that means if I want to draw the table in the room, I'll draw the back edge of the table. When we're drawing objects in one-point perspective, we're working from front to back. But in doing a room in perspective, you're working from back to front. So this line is the back edge of that table. I'll then drawing out my vanishing point like this and like this. Then there's the front edge of the table. I'll draw the back legs of the table like this. And then coming out from my vanishing point like this. Then I'll draw the front legs of the table. Whoops. That's correct. Like that and like this. And there's the front legs of the table. So I'm always drawing out from the vanishing point forward. And then on top of that table I have a box. So I'll draw the back of the box. And on top of that box is my iPad. Then I'll draw from my vanishing point to find the top of the box. From the vanishing point, the front of the box. And on top of that box is my iPad, okay? And then I have a picture on the wall over here, a painting I did. So I'll draw the height of that painting, and then drawing out from the vanishing point like this. Then I'll draw the painting on the wall. Now my breakfast nook ends back over here. It comes out about 10 feet or so. And then it ends. There's a corner of the room right past my painting here. So I'll draw that corner, okay? So this is a wall coming out on the right side of the breakfast nook. And then here's another wall that's parallel to this wall. And then I'm going to draw a line here like that. This goes into the rest of my kitchen. And there's another wall over here with some kitchen cabinets on it, which of course I'm not going to draw in any real detail. This is another wall here with a window on it. I'll draw similar to this window. So I'll draw the height of the window and coming out from the vanishing point always. Now if this window were to repeat itself, let's say I want to repeat this window 5 or 6 times. This doesn't, it repeats itself twice. Then what I would do is I will make a little mark in the middle of the first window. This is it here. This would be my first window there. This is the second window. Then I would draw a line straight through it like that, and then draw another line like this and of course it goes off my paper. Then I would draw my second window. And the purpose of that is as these windows come out further and further, they repeat themselves. It's a shape that repeats itself. So to create a repeating shape, you put a mark in the middle here, draw out from your vanishing point through that mark, and then draw from that corner of the first shape through that line down to the next one, and then you can repeat that shape over and over again. All right, now on the ceiling, I have a ceiling fixture, my light fixture. I'll put the width of that, and coming out from the vanishing point, comes out over my head like that. So there's that fixture. There's a light bulb up in there, you know. So there's drawing it into a room interior in perspective. There's a little place you can sit here in the breakfast nook. I'll draw its height and its width. Bring out, come out like that. And then another horizontal line here, and then out like that. And there's a little place over here where I set stuff, or you can sit in the breakfast nook. Now, of course, I can erase all these other lines to make things look more solid and more effective. I can add value to things to define the planes. But they're drawing an interior in one-point perspective. So that's your next assignment. I want you to draw an interior of a room. Put some furniture in it. Put some, some windows in there, and try that. So whereas our first time we were drawing an object, we're looking at the outside, drawing from front to back. This we're drawing from back to front when you do a room interior. Okay, and that's it. Then we'll do one in 2-point later on. When we cover 2.1, maybe we'll do 1 in 3. We'll see. That could be a little trickier. The thing about, you could say, why 1 point versus 2? What's the big difference? Well, here you're drawing where planes of objects or planes of the wall here, for example, are parallel to the plane of your paper. In 2-point perspective, your drawings or a corner of a wall either recedes away from you or comes forward. And also, I want to keep in mind, this is not an observational drawing. An observational drawing is where you set an object in front of you and draw it. This is a system you set up on your paper, and you place that object into the system. So even if you're looking at something in 2-point perspective, if you, for example, my cue, even if I'm looking at this like this, so it's in 2-point perspective, where I have a corner coming out toward you, in 1-point perspective, I would still draw it as if one plane of it is parallel to the plane of your paper or your face, you could say, okay? So that's the difference. These are not observational drawings. So a lot of times people get those confused. They try doing an observational drawing and then draw perspective lines from it. You're actually creating a system on your paper and then putting the object into that system. In 1 point, the planes are vertical to the paper. In 2-point, they're angled, or you either have convex or concave corners or shapes. Okay, that's it.